Jamal Nia's here at Celtic Gladiators here in Manchester with Kane Mousah. What do you make of the amateur card so far as we shift in towards the main card now?
The amateur card's been amazing tonight. We had 4 guys from All Powers fight, amazing. We had Lincoln, Jack Salt, Junior Morgan. You know, these guys were, showing that we're here and we're setting a pace that these guys have got the ability like some of these professional fighters. So for me, it was good to see our guys really get in there and represent the gym. And some of the other amateur fighters as well was at a high level.
Does it make you feel a real sense of team when you're going in there with guys from your gym?
Yeah, I'm a big team player. You see, for me, I want other people to be able to achieve their goals and be able to strive for, some of the stuff that I've achieved within the sport. So for me, yeah, when I see my guys going in there, I get really excited and, I get really proud when they win the fights.
In terms of the main card, is there any fights that stand out for you that you're really looking forward to?
There's a good few fights. Reece Ackers, I like Reece. He's a tough fighter. He's a strong fighter. We've got Clampy. He's a good guy as well. And obviously you got Menga on there. So, and we've got Sam Bolt fighting on there as well. Sam trains with us. Sam's down with us. He's a good fighter. He's a strong fighter. He's won a few fights and he's fought on ACB on the big show. So yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be exciting.
Now, you announced on your Instagram the other day that you're going to be back in there with ACB. There's no date or anything announced just yet. Is this part of a new deal with ACB, and was there any negotiations with any other promotions?
There's been a few negotiations with other promotions, and we just basically went with what was best for me and what was best for my career at the present moment. And working with ACB is such a strong promotion and they've got so much vision for the future. For me, it makes sense to work with these guys as for the near future and see exactly where it takes me. We have got a date. It's May the 19th now, and okay. I think the venue's being finalised very soon. And it's going to be a big fight. It's going to be someone who's a veteran in the sport, someone who's fought in the UFC. It should be that. It's been agreed on both sides. The paper's not been signed, but fingers crossed we'll get that done.
It's been a bit of a layoff for you in terms of in cage competition. Yeah. How's that been for you as a competitor?
It's fine for me. I just understand that when it comes to fighting, if you want to take a fight and you want to make sure give yourself the best opportunity of winning, you need to make sure you're focused and you've got your discipline and you've not got other distractions going on. So I've had to make sure that my mind's in the right place. Now we've got 12 weeks or just under 12 weeks, so it'll be a good time for me to get my focus down and make sure we get this camp as best as we can.
One thing I've noticed about you in terms of British MMA fighters, you're probably up there. You probably are the best in terms of being a social media presence. You notice the importance of that in promoting fights. When was the moment that you realised that was really important in this day and age?
I just noticed the trend at one point, and I just realised that as a fighter, I look back into some of the sports, and I've all the fighters that have been interesting for me are the ones who have been able to speak about themselves and put their personality across, and that's been, as a supporter, as a fan, that's been something that allowed me to get more into the fighter itself and want to watch that fighter fight. And I think it's just down to your personality as well. Some people haven't got that actual, the gift of the gab, they haven't got the persona, but the good in the cage. So, it's lucky enough for me that I'm able to make my personality come through, and I can also transfer that into the cage and be able to perform at a high level.
You're also working incredibly hard at developing the BADR Sports brand on social media and in the UK. Can you talk about how important that is for you in terms of showing that you're ambitious both in the cage and outside of the cage?
Yeah, obviously you see what we're doing with BADR. It's more than just, somebody trying to create a clothing brand to earn money. It's more about me creating a clothing brand to represent everything that I represent in terms of strength through clothing. The brand stands for more than just, something that looks good. It's got a real purpose behind it. So it correlates with the fight game, something that I'm in, and it stands for Be a Dangerous Rival. And that's something that I want everybody who wears the clothing to understand, that this clothing has got a real purpose behind it, and it's not just necessarily for fighters, it's for people that carry a fighting mentality. So that's what we're doing with the brand, and it's doing really well. It's getting a lot of recognition around the UK and internationally now. So onwards and upwards. And for those, you already know what time it is. It's BADR Sport all day, every day. We're in the building.
Now, I've seen that you've been hanging out with guys like Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rashford. Can you tell me about how you develop relationships with those guys?
Well, it's been from Manchester, and Jesse's Dad's friends with my mum, and Marcus, I'm friends with his brother Dane, so it's just something that's natural. We see these guys, you know, we chat, we catch up, and that's what it is. Like, you know, these are young guys that are focused and they're doing their stuff, and, you know, they're representing Manchester, and that's something that I'm passionate about. So when we do bump into each other, you know, it's not something arranged. It's, you know, if I'm out, I see them, we sit back, we have a conversation, we chat, and that's how it is.
And finally, how active are you looking to be this year in terms of competition, and what are your goals?
I'm trying to be as active as possible. I'm trying to get at least 3 fights in this year. You know, obviously you're aware we've had BADR and other stuff going on, so I'm trying to get 3 fights in this year, trying to push, you know, trying to get some big names under my belt and make sure that I remain a dangerous rival.
Well, I'll let you enjoy the rest of your night, Kane. Thanks a lot for speaking to me. Cheers.